Hello everyone, it's me again, Steve Doji here with some more Dragon Ball, and this is actually some breaking news because DBS Hype is saying, and again, it's from DBS Hype, so you know this is legit, no fake leaks. Battle Hour 2026 description of the official Dragon Ball site, there will be a special stage, reminder, special stage, showcasing latest information on the Dragon Ball, with whole series, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and Dragon Ball Super Card Game Masters. Interesting. Guys, I think this is direct confirmation that maybe we're not getting FighterZ 2, but we are getting a big update or announcement for Dragon Ball FighterZ. And it says even more because Dragon Ball FighterZ has still been waiting for Beast, Gohan, and Orange Piccolo, but now we have Daima SSJ4 and so many other characters they can add to it as well. Do please leave a like on the video for this pretty much awesome news. Yeah, we got everyone reacting to this news. There's even a really funny joke actually about one of the the news itself could be regarding FighterZ. We announced the end of support and shutdown of the servers. Thank you to everyone who has supported us over the years, and we hope to count on you for our next project. I don't think it's going to be that, but that is extremely hilarious that they might just be hyping it up to say it's over. So Dragon Ball FighterZ is gonna get something new out of it. My main guess is DLC. You guys let me know what you think Dragon Ball FighterZ is gonna get. I think it's gonna be DLC. Again, Beast, Gohan, and Orange Piccolo alone can make a ton of money for the game because people still play FighterZ. People still like FighterZ. FighterZ still shows up at EVO, so it's not like people hate FighterZ. You know, it's showing up at EVO next year as well, actually. So I think that's because Bandai Namco know that they've put something new in the game that they want to reveal at EVO, or just something that they want people to play at EVO as well. Again, Daima SSJ4 is a really easy character to add because we don't have a standalone Super Saiyan 4 that's not a fusion. We were supposed to, well, not supposed to, but people really wanted Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the game. We didn't get that. He was just an ultimate animation. And an SSJ4 Gogeta is a fusion. So this is a perfectly good opportunity to add an SSJ4 that is not a fusion and is a standalone character that is actually Goku. Why not? I don't know if they'll add Daima SSJ3 Vegeta, but Dragon Ball FighterZ is still missing quite a few characters now that I think about it that they can definitely get away with adding. Like, consider the fact that Dragon Ball FighterZ did add characters like Videl into the game. I'm not saying Videl is a bum or anything, but if you can add Videl to the game, you can add Topo, you know? You can add, like, so many other characters that people would actually be willing to play. We do have another thing here about FighterZ is the first listed game in the participating titles, and Dragon Ball Breakers isn't listed at all for 2026 Battle Hour. Again, I've said this already, Dragon Ball Breakers is most likely an end-of-service game. I'm not going to say it's a dead game because it's not truly dead until, you know, it's unplayable, but it's looking like it's going to reach that level soon. And I want to remind you, Sparking Zero is the hype Dragon Ball game that came out, by the way. It's the big hype Dragon Ball game that came out, but it's second place here because whatever they're announcing at FighterZ must be so big it has to go first. So consider the fact that Sparking Zero is most likely getting its DLC this month or next month, because we're in the month of September now, and that was when the Steam dates had stated that we were going to be getting, you know, Sparking Zero's like third DLC. You guys remember the Steam dates for Sparking Zero's third DLC did say September was the last one. So unless if it gets delayed again, we're going to be most likely getting the DLC announcement for Sparking Zero or the DLC reveal sometime this month, and then we're going to be getting something else at Battle Hour. But Dragon Ball FighterZ going first says Mountains because it's probably a huge announcement. Xenoverse 2 afterwards because they're probably going to announce something. This is probably when they announce DLC Chapter 4, right? Like Future Saga Chapter 4, most likely. The mobile games after that, then Gekishin Squadron. Now, I will say, by the time this releases, the 2026 Battle Hour, Gekishin Squadron would have released. All of these games would have been finished with whatever they're going to announce, right? So, for Gekishin Squadron, it's most likely going to announce Season 2. Because the first few months of Gekishin Squadron are going to be hype releases, right? It's going to be like, oh, here's like Final Form, like Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. We got like Final Form Frieza and you can go Golden. That's what the first few months of Gekishin Squadron are going to look like. Then Season 2, or I guess Season 0, right? We're on Season 0 right now. Season 1 is going to be a bunch of other stuff, and that's what they'll most likely announce here. And then after that, it's like the card games. And again, no hate to the card games, but they are the things that people care the least about, so they are going at the very back. And there's no Breakers because Breakers is gone. Breakers is a finished game. They've done everything they could with Breakers. There's nothing else to make. And here's actually the trailer for the Gammas for Gekishin Squadron. I'm just going to let this play in the back while I talk about Gekishin Squadron a bit more, because the Gekishin Squadron, I think it's going to be a fun game, but it kind of has to go the same route as Dragon Ball FighterZ, where it's not relying on Dragon Ball fans to make up its, you know, its player base. It's relying on people who find the game enjoyable overall. That's what it has to survive on, because Dragon Ball FighterZ, I'm not saying it was unpopular in the Dragon Ball fan base, but if it's not an arena fighter, Dragon Ball fans usually do care less for it. And that's something that Gekishin Squadron can avoid by appealing to people who like, you know, these type of games. I can't remember what genre this was called, if it was like MOBA or I just remember, look, Pokemon Unite and League of Legends are the only games I can think of that fit this kind of like build or criteria. It's kind of relying on, you know, those players to really hop on the game. Now, Pokemon Unite, for Pokemon Unite, it worked because, like, Pokemon is Pokemon. It's always going to sell well, incredibly. Like, Dragon Ball is the same as Pokemon, right? Where everything they do just sells well. But also, Pokemon characters have unique, combat styles. They have unique typings. They have unique body structures. They can do all different types of fighting. For example, despite Garchomp and Charizard both being, like, lizards, right? They play entirely differently. But Dragon Ball characters are all characters who basically fly around and punch you. So that's why they're really stretching the variety when it comes to their gameplay. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 basically are tag characters. Frieza's a summon type character. You have characters who are like solo tanks or supports. Or you have characters who rely on jumping like Bojack, where Bojack doesn't really fight with his group the same way he does with Gamma 1 and 2, or the same way Frieza does with his force. But he just has them like basically like just drop Ki Blast every now and then, So Genshin Squadron, I can't wait to see more about that game, because again, I played Genshin Squadron, I'll be honest, that game is great to me. I'll still upload content on it, even if people don't really care about it, because to me that game is fun, and there's not really much else going on in Dragon Ball. Name a fun Dragon Ball game to play right now online. Genshin Squadron is like the only one for me, so even if people aren't really the biggest fans of that game, I'm still going to be uploading content on it, because it's actually something fun to do. Still though, I can't wait to see what Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to announce here. Let me go through all the potential characters I think they can add. I honestly think Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo should go first no matter what, because look, people thought they were going to be in FighterZ, and it was only them not being added in FighterZ that made people realize, oh, I guess they're done with FighterZ, right? That was the main reason why people were like, oh, I guess FighterZ is done with supports, because they didn't add Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo. They're in every other game now except this one, so that means they're done, right? Like Sparking Zero came out after FighterZ and got them, so that's another reason why people thought they were completely finished. But now, if they actually are continuing service for the game again, most likely Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan will be the first characters they add to the game, because why the heck not? And if they do for some reason skip them and just want to go straight to Daima SSJ4, don't get me wrong, it would make sense. He's more recent. You want to get to him sooner rather than later, right? Especially because Xenoverse 2 and Sparking Zero still don't have him. So it would make sense that they want to add him really quick, or add him sooner rather than later. But it would be I feel like it's just a missed opportunity to not do Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo, considering Beast Gohan especially is just a moneymaker by himself, and Orange Piccolo is just a character people think is very cool. Like, let me remind you guys of the Beast Gohan, the LR Ultimate Gohan, right? That we got in Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. That guy was basically not Beast Gohan, but his hype was so much, it made people check out the banner and buy the units, or summon for the units anyways, and then people woke up to how Piccolo was truly the GOAT. Even if Gohan is a massive flop, the attention he brings is way too damn high to ignore. So it'd be worth going for Gohan anyways. I get Goku is #1 most popular character, so he's going to bring attention regardless. But if you're a company, you could still maximize your money by doing Gohan and then Goku. I don't know if they'll even add Daima SSJ3 Vegeta to the game, because don't get me wrong, it's cool, but like, what can you really do to make him stand out, So I wouldn't be surprised if they only did Gohan and Piccolo, and maybe Gamma 1 and 2 was like a tag partner character, kind of like, not a tag character, but maybe just like an assist character, like 17 and 18 or something. But maybe they could have a tag system like we just saw with Gekishin Squadra, where you can actually swap between both of them, and they have different specials and different input. Well, yeah, different specials, different inputs, and different ways their supers work if you have one out rather than the other. And then the other one would just play a supporting role. Kind of like if you could swap between 17 and 18 rather than just only playing 18 and then summoning 17. So I could see the Gammas being added, and when it comes to Daima characters, I don't imagine they'll add Daima Goku because, well, I mean Daima base Goku, because GT Goku literally exists. He's literally just that guy. So I don't think they'll add base Daima Goku. They'll probably go straight to SSJ4. Maybe they'll add Kid SSJ4, but I don't feel like that still makes sense either, because GT exists. So most likely it'll either be maybe Tamagami 3 playable or Tamagami 1 playable. I think Tamagami 3 makes more sense, because Tamagami 1 is just going to be Trunks. Really, he's just going to be a sword fighter character, where, I'm not saying sword fighter like Smash, but he's just going to be like swinging a sword around. And that's like, there's so many ways you can make that interesting. So Tamagami 3 makes more sense. After Tamagami 3, maybe Gloria with like Pansy supporting him, or Daima Goku supporting him, something like that. And then maybe Daima SSJ3 Vegeta, or Daima Kid Vegeta, right? And then he could still go SSJ3 on top of that. But most likely, just Daima SSJ4, since he's on the cover of this. Again, Daima SSJ4 is not in Sparking Zero, and he's not in Genshin Squadra, and he's not in FighterZ. He's the one who's in the least games right now. He's at least in Xenoverse too, but he's in the least games right now. So here, using him as the banner is pretty telling as to what you should where you should expect him to show up, right? I mean, for God's sakes, the event is called Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, and Dragon Ball FighterZ is the thing that's being marketed the most, and then he's on the cover of it. What do you think is going to happen? Like, be real with yourself. Either way, I think that's a good place to end the video. I had to re-record this like 3 times because the audio kept corrupting, but I think I made my points more clear this time around, and I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe, it greatly supports the channel, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next. Amigos, and I do love you all. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, and peace. I can't believe they killed Breakers for FighterZ, but to be fair, that makes sense, because who the hell likes Breakers?